Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And I got the one and only with me, the biggest Duke hater on the planet, Don Jarmon. What's up, family?
What's up with it, man?
Hey, listen, I'm just trying to be fair. So I'm gonna do a little episode with at least one fan from each of the Final Four teams, right? And you are the perfect guest to represent North Carolina. And the reason why I think you the perfect guest is because you hate Duke. And
Naturally.
lately, man, I've been seeing a whole lot of Kentucky hate. And I feel like some people is letting me down with the rivalry, but not you though. And most people that know you are the leader of the Fuck Duke United movement, man. So let me ask
Yes,
you a
sir.
question. When did you come up with the Fuck Duke United movement?
Honestly, I had a different hashtag for each sports group I'm in, and I didn't have one for BTG, so it just came apart. It was always simply just fuck dude to keep it very short.
Gotcha.
It's extended to the foundation, in which I'm the chairman, CEO, CFO of the whole foundation. Incredible organization.
Absolutely, man. And I would like to say I'm an honorary member, right? Because
Yes, sir.
technically I'm a Kentucky fan, so technically I'm not a rival to Duke, but I hate Duke too, man. So every
There's
time I
plenty
see
of
you,
chapters.
absolutely every time I see you put "fuck Duke United," I gotta love it because that's how I feel in my heart, man. And today, man, I just decided that I'm gonna bring out my North Carolina Jordan jersey just to be on your side, so we can hate on Duke together, man. So before we get into the hating, I do want to ask you, how did you feel about North Carolina hiring Coach Hubert Davis?
I felt like he had been on the bench and kind of grooming for the position. Um, wouldn't be truthful if I didn't say I would have wished we went different directions before Hugh. Because of course I thought about Jerry Stackhouse. He's already been a head coach. Another former player, Wes Miller, who's over at UNCG, I believe, and he's been doing pretty good with that program. He's took them to the tournament a few times. They ain't made no big runs, anything crazy like that. But I felt like he had what it takes to embody to be, of course, a head coach for North Carolina. He's played in a system. He's been under Roy. He's played with, of course, a lot of upper echelon UNC players, so he knows what it means to kind of be in that spotlight. I don't feel like it'd be too much for him because at one point he was even our starting point guard when one of our guards got hurt, so he even had to step up in that role. But he was done a great job. I can't lie, it took him a minute to enforce his style of play because Roy, he wants two big men in the post at all time. Hugh don't mind to play one in, four out, and stretch him out a little bit. So different styles was pretty cool. Nice change of pace.
So that's why you is that what you would say kind of maybe contributed to the sort of slow start y'all had, if you will?
Yeah, we was playing like real selfish earlier in the year to transition. Hugh finding his voice as the head coach, because that's the difference. Being an assistant, you're not always running things. Typically, those are the ones who run stuff in practice. But Roy was pretty hands on with everything and pretty adamant about what he wanted to do. And of course, Hubert brings his own different coaching style. He's more relaxed players coach. I don't think you ever will even find a lip sync of this man cussing. Like I don't know. He really doesn't get aggressive a lot. On the sidelines, you see Roy try to bend clipboards and everything. Like he's aggressive.
So you think maybe the players wasn't buying in the beginning of the season?
Yeah, that too. And last year, even going in, it was a lot of selfishness because before we had Walker Kessler transfer out, we had four or five power forwards or centers because we had Walker Kessler who went to Auburn. Garrison Brooks wound up going to Mississippi State. We had Dayron Sharp who went to the Nets, and we still had Mondo. So it was like a lot of clog for big men even to get time, which is I felt Kessler was right in transferring out. He couldn't really get the time that he needed to really showcase himself. Garrison Brooks, he extended all 4 years. I believe he was a graduate transfer when he went to Mississippi State. And Dayron, he was just honestly the most physical and NBA ready player.
So I want to ask you, when the season started, what was your actual expectations for the squad?
Actual expectations. I had really light expectations. Like I was looking at right at 20 games for Hubert's first year. I was like, all right, Roy took him to the tournament, but I still expect you to win 20 games in your first year. So you're not stepping into no little time role. You know these players, you've coached these players. You know it's going to be a little bit change of style, but I was more relaxed. 20 games, and I say this was even shooting high like Sweet 16 because I honestly, before it started, I didn't honestly think we was going to make it that far.
So when was that moment where you felt it, like you felt the season was taking a turn for the better, and maybe y'all could make a nice run like y'all did and end up in the Final Four?
Initially, I want to say it goes back to the Wake Forest game, but then we even dropped the ball after that. It was a game we lost like right after that, in which like that was like the first time in the season I couldn't finish watching the game because I was like, I seen what y'all can do, and then it's just like, what the hell is this next time we step out on the court? And then we had that Coach K ceremony where we made him that LK humble pie. They say we didn't get none for him. I thought we got him the greatest going away gift, something he'll never forget ever in his life. And
Absolutely.
many generations going down his bloodline. I felt that was a perfect parting gift.
And let's dive into that a little bit more, man. So going into that game, did you like was you shocked by that?
No, I wasn't shocked. I mean, it's a rivalry game. The first time around when we played them at home, we got blew out the gym. They was still playing selfish. It was early in the year. And it was just like, okay, y'all gonna get done like this at home. All right, bet. Second time around, I just knew they wasn't gonna have it. It was like we gotta at least show fight. Like if we don't win, we gotta bite somebody. Like something gotta happen. We gotta leave our mark. And then yeah, game just kept going on, and I just felt that I was like, ah, yeah, we got all these Duke legends in the building. It was nice to hand them one L at one time.
It was a lot of them in the building, man.
Yeah,
And
a lot of them.
it was crazy that night, man. I felt like an honorary North Carolina fan, man, because I was going crazy for y'all, man. Um, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like it was a little shocking though, just because I hate to say this, man. They're gonna be mad at me, but I'm keeping it 100 with you. I feel like they do try to set things up for Coach K, or at least it feels like they just want to hold this man at this high pedestal, and they want to make, you know, they want him to go out on top. So I just felt like with him being at home, there was no way that he was really gonna lose his last game, man. And it shocked the hell out of me, to be honest with you.
I definitely feel you, and I felt like I don't know, like I was able to transfer from some of my spirit to the players because they didn't give a fuck about it being his last home game. Like, all right, y'all knocked us out, but this is not how we going out. We swept y'all the year before. This is virtually the same team. It's not like we can't do it again. We got all these Duke legends in here. Everybody paid these expensive tickets. Everybody camped out to do this. Well, I'm sorry, but we got to change the broadcast a little bit. This is not what y'all expected, and this is how we gonna hand it to y'all.
Right. So when y'all transition into the actual NCAA tournament, um, how did you feel about your seating and your bracket at first?
Seating, honestly, because we didn't make it to the ACC championship, I was really on the fence about us really making it to the tournament, and this is being an honest fan, because we didn't have a signature win all year. That signature win came on the last day of the ACC regular season, which was Duke. And I was like, okay, we got that, but what else do we really do? I was like, because everybody talks about it, and a lot of ACC fans like really avoid this now since so many ACC people teams made it further in the tournament than other conferences. Honestly, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Throughout the year, Duke was the only ACC team that stayed in the top 25 throughout the entire season. If you go across any ACC member's schedule, they didn't play a ranked team unless they was playing Duke.
Mm.
So even when you think about that from Duke's perspective, they ain't even played like a ranked opponent since like I believe their last one was either Gonzaga or something like that. After that, it was no ranked opponents. But Duke did get them signature wins early in the season, beating some of the ranked opponents. We did not, and we fell completely out the top 25. So I was kind of skeptical on us getting in, but that same chatter gave them like, we're not supposed to be here. The same thing with Michigan, who I called a team up north. Uh, like they weren't supposed to be there. Everybody was rooting for who was it? Was it Texas A&M out the SEC?
Yep.
Rooting for them to go in, and Michigan knocked off a couple people before they left. So I feel like we had like something to prove. Um, and even some of the scheduling was weird. Marquette, I ain't really think highly of them. That wasn't a big win to me. Baylor, they had so many players hurt through the season. I don't really feel like they really caught their stride ever. Because when they was fully healthy, Baylor was balling.
Right.
Baylor was a top team. And they usually play like four guards, something we're not good at because we simply can't defend the perimeter that great. And yeah, beating them, then beating St. Peter's, I didn't give a fuck about that game either. I was just more concerned about our defense, staying disciplined and all that because Coach Dame Dash up there, he ran some amazing plays. Like going back and look at his highlights, it's a beautiful game of basketball that team was running.
So one thing that I had heard that was kind of interesting, and somebody had made a comment, and they said that they felt like the refs kind of protected St. Peter's a little bit earlier in the tournament, as far as allowing the power schools to play physical. And they said when North Carolina played them, they really let North Carolina really play physical, and it just seemed to overwhelm them. Did you get that sense?
Honestly, the sense of that game was I feel like they got what's the word I'm looking for? They lost morale at the beginning of the game because at the beginning of the game we came out, hit our first five shots, and they first 10 times up and down the court, it wasn't like they wasn't getting good shots. They just wasn't falling. So I feel like that kind of lowered their morale. And then, at one point I was like, yeah, they're down seven. This is their largest deficit of the tournament. I was like, is this for real? I was like, so they really ain't even truly been punched in the mouth
Not really.
like during the whole tournament. I was like, this is kind of amazing. I was like, because you got to be able to take a punch in the mouth. You got to take them and be able to give them for sure. Especially when you're facing teams like that as a 15 seed, you're always playing someone better than you.
Always.
Because when we played UCLA, I don't know how many times they punched us in the mouth, and it was just like we just kept coming back with the punches. That was the only win I was really satisfied with out the tournament, to be all the way honest.
Um, the thing that I felt like, not to go away from North Carolina, but I felt like Kentucky was better than St. Peter. It just they did a couple of dumb things down the stretch, and they missed some free throws, and I feel like they let them off the hook. And then somehow, some way, they just was able to get through the tournament. But I was just kind of waiting for them to run out of gas, and I did everything I could to try to help them. I wore my jersey to try to jinx y'all, but
Yeah,
something
me
was
too.
just telling me in my heart. I said North Carolina is about to stomp these motherfuckers, man. Like I just could feel it. Like I knew that they was just gonna run out of gas, and somebody was just gonna show them that they was still a small mid-major school, man. And y'all just happened to be the ones that did it. Um, so just moving along from that, now that we got the Final Four set, how do you feel about the first time y'all actually playing Duke in the tournament? It's in the Final Four, man. Could you have imagined it any better than that?
Nah, it's kind of written because weirdly, the last time it should have happened should have been a meeting in the championship. It was, I want to say 91 to 92. We played Kansas. Dean was still the coach. Roy knocked off Dean. And I think it was Kansas Duke. Yeah. And then Duke wound up like beating Arizona that year.
Mm.
Then, of course, that was one of the championships everybody considered Roy trick, which he did. But I mean, it was a pretty good team. So it's kind of a storybook, and it's really some Cinderella Disney bullshit at the end of the day. K's last year. this is gonna be the absolute final time he gets to play us. It's a revenge game. We beat him at home. It's a lot of, I don't know, some sorry shit that I really don't care about because K really did some selfish shit this year and doing this like retirement tour, which yeah, is completely beyond me. Because our coaches, Roy bowed out with grace, Dean bowed out with grace. They also won their last home games versus Duke. Let me just throw that in there. But yeah, it was like they just retired. They didn't like tell nobody. Like the only way you could tell Roy is retiring last year, our last home game versus Duke, again, in which he won. Uh, he kissed the floor walking off. It was like, damn, Roy might be calling it quits. All this transfer shit getting to him. He tired of all this bullshit. He can't coach his 4-year, 3-year, 4-year players no more.
Yeah.
It's like it's too much for him.
Yep. And the one thing that Roy was good at, which Coach K used to be really good at, but he was good at getting high level recruits and being able to keep them for 2 to 3 years. And it seemed like every like 3 to 4 years, North Carolina would have a super strong squad, man. And that's the one thing that Coach K had been able to pretty much do his entire career, except for these last several years. He's been able to retain top level recruits like juniors and seniors. And that's the one thing that's really hurt Calipari is he ain't really able to hold on to them. Even the ones that don't play that well, like I'm not gonna rag on my guys, but like I don't really necessarily feel like Ty Ty played well enough to go to the NBA, but he probably will, and he'll leave another hole in the roster when he could come back and probably help the team get a little better, probably be a higher pick, man. But that's one thing I always thought Roy Williams was good at, man, and I feel like most of the time I would say the best team doesn't always win the tournament, but usually when Roy won the tournament, man, he had a powerhouse squad, man, and it was almost like, whew, like you just kind of
Yeah.
knew what time it was, man. He had some real powerhouse squads in North Carolina, um, cause he coached the Hansborough and them boys, right?
Hmm.
And then he had the one with like Sean May and them guys too, right? Yeah,
Yep.
man, he had some
His
power.
first year in.
He had some,
First year in one with another coach's team, which was crazy.
yeah, he had some powerhouse squads, man. What's been your favorite North Carolina team over let's just say the last 10 years, man?
That's kind of hard because I believe it was that 08, 09 team that won. That's when we just went to the tournament and just washed everyone. Gave Izzo a 20 piece in the championship. Uh, was it 15, 16? Whatever the year was, we lost to Villanova in the championship off the buzzer beater.
Yeah.
That team.
That was when y'all had the one little left-handed point guard, right? That he hit the
Yeah,
double clutch three or whatever
yeah.
it was.
Marcus Page, one
That's
of the
who it
most
was, Mark.
unforgettable biggest shots in NCAA history, just got followed up with a shot that mattered more.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. But to bring it back to the Final Four though, man, I really hope that when they play this game, I hope they let this be a fair game and let the best team win. And if it doesn't happen to be Duke, I'm cool with that, man. But the one thing I want to ask you is who scares you the most on the other side, man? Kansas or Villanova?
Nova,
Nova
easy.
does. Is it because of the
Yeah.
coaching or the players?
It's a combination of both. I really like that program. Really like that program. The style they play, how they come at you. 'Cause I mean, of course, we didn't really used to think of them as a powerhouse. They had their days way back when in what 90s. Then they kind of came back around. That's a team that has a lot of dog in them. They necessarily don't need that many star players. I'm not saying there hasn't been some stars and some ballers that came through Nova, because that would certainly be a lie. But the way they play, that's that East Coast ball. I like it.
That's what's up. So what's your keys to beating Duke? Like how are y'all gonna get a successful win and move on to the championship?
Keys. Control the tempo. We want to run. We want K to have to use them timeouts to have to draw up something to get them a bucket, and then we go on another run, and K has to call another timeout to draw up a play. So guard play is going to be crucial. We have to stay out of foul trouble because we're not that deep of a team. 7 people play, and those other 2 that come off the bench may get 7 or 8 minutes. Our starting 5 plays 30 plus minutes a game. Staying out of foul trouble, controlling the tempo, knocking down open shots, and honestly, just coming out and punching them in the mouth as they should. It's like it's a rivalry game. It's the Final Four. It's like, okay, if we win this, we go to the championship. But right here is a championship right here too. We're not gonna really get a trophy for it. We are, but we're gonna have a moral victory right here too, just because this is a conference foe going into, of course, the biggest game of the tournament. So I mean, we got to come out aggressive. I hate to say this as collectively, but I mean, as a conference, we have to show up together. That kind of hurt to say, but yeah. Because if Duke comes out slow and we punch them in the mouth, how's that going to make them look like? I don't know. We're probably going to get 5 techs in a row to make it a free throw game so K can crawl back in it. Like, are they really going to let K get punched in the mouth in this last tourney game? Maybe, maybe not. This is some referees that ain't going to be K fans. It's going to be like, yeah, this coming.
Man, all I've been hearing is that they rigged the tournament for Coach K.
I mean, heck, you can say the same about us. Look at some of the teams we played. The only team we honestly played that was a real threat to me was UCLA. Baylor was not fully healthy. Marquette never thought highly of them. St. Peter's, you wasn't supposed to be here. Let's just keep in mind, you wasn't supposed to be here.
Man, that I still can't get over it, man. It just and you know what the thing that hurts the most is that everybody else had success in this tournament. Like I honestly believe that my Wildcats had a chance, but it wouldn't hurt so bad if we would have at least made it to the Elite Eight or even the Sweet 16. But all the big schools had success except for us, man, and that's what kind of that's why I think my guy Coach Cal's been getting so much flack lately, and I've been trying to defend him, but it's been really hard. Even though Kentucky actually had a good season, um,
Had a great season.
they just had a couple of bad weeks at the wrong time at the very end, and it was hella disappointing. But it's just hard for me to really defend it when I see everybody else had a success this season, man. But yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
y'all kind of limped towards the finish line too because it was between Ty and Willer kept getting hurt or they
Yeah,
wasn't playing together. And of course, they first year playing together, so it's just like, damn, we got the chemistry, we got to get it back. Damn, we lost the chemistry. Now the players are having to step up who's really not going to play in these crucial moments when it really comes down to it. It's like you couldn't really get the mode all the way together.
right.
And going back to that St. Peter's game, the last play in regulation, Grady was supposed to get the handoff and shoot the 3. Willer did not have the confidence in him handing that ball off and him taking a shot. Gotta let a shooter shoot, man. Then he wound up going up under the rim, passing it to Ty Ty. Ty
Yeah,
Ty shot off balance.
he was hella out of control when he was making his move, man. It
Yeah,
almost seemed like he didn't really know where he was going or what he was doing, and
play wasn't for him.
nah, and the shot we got was just terrible, man. But the thing, you know what else shocked me in this tournament? As soon as y'all got finished busting St. Peter's ass, the coach like he didn't even, you know what I'm saying, get back to the hotel room before he already done took the Seton Hall job, man. How you feel about that?
I kind of think they knew it was his last rodeo.
You think so? You
Like,
you think
yeah, he
you think
got
his
in. It
players
was
was
just
all
like,
aware?
yeah, that Seton Hall job opened up at the end of the regular season. Well, after conference tourneys, I'll say. So it was just kind of like, yeah,
Do
this is
you
gonna be the
do
next
you
guy.
think he told them before the game? Like when do you think his players found out?
I think he told them like before, like before they got seated, like before Selection Sunday, because I mean they had like extra fire. Like they've been good all season. I mean to their standards, of course. Uh, yeah, and they just came out with some extra fire, extra locked in. Because I don't think they had played no blue blood, no high rank caliber opponents during the whole season. They beat up on people in their conference and whoever they schedule early on, but I don't know. I just feel like he gave them that Phil Jackson moment. Like this is the last dance. Like
Right.
I'm not coming back. If y'all want to come, y'all can come, but let's do something here.
Yeah, man. Do you think it's possible that a seed and we don't even gotta go all the way to 13. I think um is it the eighth or the ninth seed might be the lowest that's ever won a championship? I ain't for sure, but I think it might be like 8 or 9. But what I'm trying to ask is, do you think that we'll ever see a seed that might maybe like 12 or lower ever actually be able to win the championship?
Yeah,
Think it's possible?
I think it's possible.
Cause see, here's my thing, right? In order for them to most of those seeds to even get in the tournament, they're gonna have to win their conference tournament. So you're gonna
Hmm.
have to, you know, you're gonna have to do several games in the conference tournament and then turn around to win the NCAA tournament. You might be talking like 10 games in a row, and that's
10
the
games.
part that makes me a little cautious. Is that I just feel like it's super hard to win 10 games in a row. So that's why I was just wondering if you think it's actually possible for one of those schools.
I think it's possible, man, because typically them small schools are built around shooters. And once a shooter really gets locked in, it can be scary hours for any team they facing. So if any one of them can get locked in, they can play a little bit of defense, can stand getting punched in the mouth. I honestly think it could happen. St. Peter's took a real good shot. They shots just stopped falling in the wrong game.
Yeah, man, they just ran out of gas. It looked like, and unfortunately for them, y'all put them back in their place, man. And man, and
Unfortunately.
North Carolina's the hottest team right now, man. I feel like once y'all took off, man, y'all just been playing some ball, man, and
It's crazy when it actually kicked off because we actually down a starter right now.
whatever happened, man,
Great value Bird got the start, man. He was coming off the bench in the season. We had this player Dawson Garcia who transferred from Marquette earlier this year. 6'10" light skinned guy. He can play outside in the paint. He was super soft, Charmin. But like he had to leave for like some family issues. Like his dad was in ICU and his grandma was in ICU, so he stepped away from the team. Brady Manick stepped in. He's a shooter. He finally got to put up enough shots, catch a groove, because he's always been a starter. So he just kind of found his footing, and that kind of helped a lot too. There was no more really uncertainties changing in the lineup after that happened.
that's what's up, man. So, anyways, man, before I let you go, man, because I'm gonna go on and wrap it up with you. I ain't gonna hold you all night, man. But before I let you go, I need you to give me your scores of the Final Four.
Start with Villanova, Kansas. This is tough because Villanova just lost a hard, nice core piece to their team. I say Kansas 81-73. So Kansas in the ship. 91-84. North Carolina moves on.
I definitely think you definitely got a shot at that, man. And then what y'all gonna do to Kansas when y'all get there, man?
Honestly, I think we'd implode that game
You do.
because it's just like, yeah, it's just like, man, we just did this. Like, it's gonna kind of be hard to hype the team back up after that one. Honestly, it'd be hard to hype me back up. Like, damn, okay, season end of the day. Like, go ahead, cut down the nets. Shit, we
man,
did good. We did great.
man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Me being the Kentucky guy, man, I would prefer for Kansas or Villanova to take this one home, man, because y'all getting a little too close to Kentucky over there, man. It's making me
This
a
will
little nervous, man.
be 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, 7.
seven's much too close for my taste, man. I need I need one of these other boys to step up, man, and make some noise over on that side. But I don't know, man. Right now, man, I feel like North Carolina is definitely the hottest team. Um, You know, you can't count Duke out.
Never.
It's actually, man, all the teams in the Final Four are good, man, and it's crazy because
No, no. Kansas is
suspect
Kansas. Bill Self. Yeah, that's they suspect.
Bill Self, man, man, listen. And see, this is why I have to have these conversations about Cal because people don't never hate on Bill Self enough for me. I'm cool.
See,
I'm cool with you hating on Cal, but I need you to give some of that to like some of them other guys too, because Bill Self has fucked up some good squads, man.
he has. The only thing with Self is he's in the Big 12, not the SEC. Self is president of Big 12. Like they win regular season
Every
and
year.
tournament every year.
Yeah,
Sometimes Cal don't win regular season. Sometimes he don't win SEC tournament.
you're
They
right.
typically make it further than the other SEC teams. So Self is bringing home hardware virtually every year.
I got you.
It's just not what the other fans want, and then they look at it too, like shit. Fuck, we gonna replace him. Like they know.
It's tough, man. I just feel like it's not really a whole lot of hot new coaches. And a lot of the ones over the last several years, to me, I feel like have flopped. Like Shaka Smart, some of them other guys. I feel like they just ain't really live up to the hype that you know what I mean? Like they was the hot coaches, and then all of a
Shaka
sudden,
Smart is the equivalent to the Utah Jazz. Great in the regular season, tournament playoffs come around, don't even recognize them.
yeah, man. I mean, he was making hella noise in the tournament, and then he got his opportunity. And then it's just like he looking super regular out there, man. And some people have been talking about Brad Stevens, but
He's
see,
not coming back.
and
He's not coming back.
here's my thing with Brad Stevens. I just wonder, is he really that good, or did he just have pro talent on his team? Like, luckily, he just ended up with like a couple of guys that play in the NBA. One of them was NBA All Star, and then he had another guy on the bench that was a hair away from making the league. And I'm like, is he a good coach, or did he just get blessed with a fortunate situation? I don't know.
Stevens is a great coach.
You believe in him?
I believe in him. Cause Shelvin coming from here, I mean, did he get anything bigger than Butler? No. Gordon Hayward, even coming out of high school, I don't think he had like a lot of great offers. Like he found players that fit his mode, wanted to play, and I feel like he coached them up. Also, I felt like he couldn't find players like that again, so he dipped while the grease was still hot.
I
So
I agree with you.
he did good. Then he
Yeah.
got blessed with that Celtics situation because he had Tatum. Who was there when he actually first got hired? I can't remember. It wasn't Tatum because that was before Tatum got to the league. But he did good. GMs blessed him because Boston.
What did he coach the team with Isaiah on it
Yeah, he did.
when he got hurt and they made a little run or whatever?
Yep. Then they even took him off the court, made him a GM. I was like, you obviously have an eye for talent. You can find another coach, but yeah, made him GM. He's highly respected. I think Holloway could be in the same mode. I kind of honestly wish Syracuse would push Boheim out the door because that would be a perfect school for him.
And that's another one where I wonder like how much longer is he going to be at it, man? Like,
Man, he's not stepping away. I think he might, maybe after his sons go. Who knows? I knew he was gonna coach his kids for sure, but he's one of them coaches that's been around. I don't know how long.
yeah, we'll see, man. But anyways, man, we gonna wrap it up. But before I let you go, man, I'm gonna just let you say whatever you want to say to the Duke fans before we get out of here, man.
I always got a mouthful for them, so it's always fuck Duke. Fuck Duke United is the foundation that I stand on, that I breathe. Like Bama fans walk around, Bama screaming roll tide. I wake up in the morning, I say fuck Duke. So it just kind of slides off the tongue. I can say it when I'm upset. I can say it when I'm happy. It doesn't really matter what mood I'm in. Coach K lost his final home game. That was amazing. Put that rat face bitch where he was supposed to go. All that shit, crying. I ain't want to shake hands. All this bullshit. Man, we fucking rivals. Fuck the handshakes. Fuck the hand lines. Put this ball center court. Let's go. That's it. We don't shake hands. That's it. You know, we have media days and shit for the season start to shake hands and all that extra shit. But yeah, man, most of these Duke fans hate them all. Daniel's biggest one. I got Chris. I got Eric Gurdon. Can't remember him. Leon. I mean, honestly, niggas don't even really matter. It's like, because of course, with a better program, before K came around, they wasn't even considered a blue blood. People probably couldn't tell you shit about Duke before K came along. We a program. I don't know how many coaches we've had that took us to the Final Four. We got more ships. We got more wins. We lead the rivalry. Honestly, they are little brothers. Like, I don't know. I don't know why they got short man syndrome for real. That's what they really do have. They beat up over us a couple years, but we still up on the all time head to head about what 30, 40 games.
That's a lot.
So yeah, they really need to find a fucking chair and sit down sometimes. Get on my nerves. Arrogant bastards.
Well, there you have it, man. And we'll get back at it again on Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.